my name is Fifi Simon, and this is my artistic critique for the self-critique assignment. This is defining volumetric form with line. My description: at its core, this work is an abstracted wire sculpture depicting a human figure, specifically a ballerina. The artist chose to document the piece in two distinct ways: through a photograph, where it is held against what seems to be a dark black puffer coat, and through a video, where the figure is suspended. The sculpture is constructed from thick, dark metal wire, with joints visibly decorated by globs of a cloudy whitish adhesive, most likely hot glue. The figure's anatomy is highly stylized. It features a head made of overlapping loops, a densely bundled vertical torso, and arms positioned in graceful sweeping arc. The most prominent feature, however, is the tutu, which is formed by a large circular wire frame with a continuous, wavy, zigzagging wire dropping down to create visual volume. Supporting the entire form is a single straight wire acting as the leg, which ends in a tiny loop representing what seems to be a foot in point. In the video documentation, the sculpture is suspended by a vibrant, colorful string, allowing it to spin freely. This kinetic element transforms the static wire into a moving performer, as the colorful cord contrasts sharply with the dark industrial metal of the figure. Analyzing the technical choices reveals that the artist relied heavily on the element of line to create a distinct sense of volume and shape. Converting such a rigid industrial material into soft, curvilinear forms required intense physical manipulation. Principles of design are evident in the fantastic contrast between the dense vertical lines of the torso and the wide, rhythmic zigzag of the skirt. While the artist opted not to include literal hands or toes, the abstract references effectively guide the viewer's eye to complete the form. More so, the negative space captured within the wire tutu functions beautifully. It provides the piece with a sense of airy lightness and uplifting energy that counters the literal weight of the metal. When the piece spins in video format, the zigzag lines of the skirt create a flickering, rhythmic pattern that reinforce the illusion of a fabric garment in motion. My interpretation: the work is highly accessible to a wide array of viewers because the iconic gesture of a dancer is instantly recognizable. The artist has invited the audience to fill in the blanks of the anatomy, relying on our collective physical memory of a dancer's posture to complete the narrative. However, I think a compelling tension exists between the subject and materials. While ballerinas are associated with flawless, ethereal grace, this figure is built from harsh metal and messy, obvious glue joints and jewels. This creates that powerful conceptual statement about the hidden reality of ballet. While the performance appears effortless, behind the scenes, the reality is often gritty, painful, and raw, bent into place by strict form and practice. The spinning video serves as a callback to Alexander Calder and his famous Cirque Calder or Calder Circus. Much like Calder's kinetic wire figures, this ballerina bridges the gap between static sculpture and live performance, using movement to essentially give life into this industrial piece. Evaluating the success of this piece requires looking past initial impressions. While the visible adhesive and the casual backdrop of a winter coat initially make the piece feel somewhat unfinished, I think a closer study revealed the strength of the raw aesthetic. The artist successfully captured the exact essence of a dancer's motion through the most minimal of tools. The work possesses immense intrinsic value because it communicates movement while forcing the viewer to see a traditionally delicate subject through a rugged structural lens. By adding the kinetic element of the colorful string, the artist elevated the project from a simple 3D study into an evocative, performative object. I believe it is a highly successful exploration of how line and motion can overcome the limitations of stiff industrial materials to tell a very human story.